Welcome to your weekly sports show, MySports Show, here on your home of champions with Muzi Hadebe. You can always catch us on www.mysports.co.zw for the latest in sports news. On the show this week, the Warriors are through to the semi-finals of the COSAFA Cup in South Africa. We take a look at week 15 of the Kasulaga Premier Soccer League, as well as the Southern Region Netball results. But first, we start with the COSAFA Cup, in which the Warriors beat Botswana 3-1 on penalties after it was 1-1 during regulation time. George Chigowa saved 3 consecutive penalties, and Evans Rusike had scored in a regulation time. My sports analyst, former Highlanders and Rail Stars left back Mayfield Daga, gives us his expert view of the Warriors' performance.
I'd like to comment on the team performance of the Zimbabwe team, which played yesterday against Botswana. Generally, the team played very well. They were creative in front of goal, but missed a lot of chances, especially the strikers Amitu, Kama and Talent Chaupiwa. They were playing together for the first time in the national team, and they did well, but they did not convert all the chances they created, including the goal scorer Rusike. But generally, the players which they used in the defense also played very well. There were new boys from different teams, and it was the first time they played together, and they did well, although they were jittery at times. Then some of the players which we used in the national team are seasoned players. I thought the coach would rest them and bring in development aside in terms of new players who are playing well in the Premier League, which has started in our country. And I think the players who are in form could have done better, because some of the players which were used, they showed fatigue just because they just ended the season in their respective leagues. But they played well, but there were signs of fatigue. I think we've got a good chance in the AFCON if the team is selected by merit. The coach needs to look at player by player, department by department, because we've got some of our senior players like Costa, Kasande. Age is catching up with them, but there are some players who are coming in who are playing very well in other leagues, and in respect of our qualifiers, we need young players who can give us depth in our national team so that we can qualify for this coming AFCON.
That was Mayfield Daga. He is the son of Barry Daga, who is currently the technical advisor at Bulawayo City. You are listening to My Sports Show with Muzi Hadebe here on your home of champions. You can always visit our website for these and many more of other sports stories, www.mysports.co.zw. Up next, we take a look at week 15 of the Kasulaga Premier Soccer League, in which Bulawayo Chiefs ended Ngezi Platinum Stars' 14-match unbeaten run with a 1-0 win at Luveve Stadium. This was a repeat of their act when they stopped FC Platinum unbeaten run in week 7 of the Kasulaga Premier Soccer League. Chiefs got their only goal of the match from the spot, converted by Gracious Muleya in what was his fourth goal of the season. Ngezi finished the match with 9 men after Kolisani Moyo and Clive Ocastom were red-carded in the second half. We spoke to Muleya, the hero of the day, after the match.
Good game today. You scored the winning goal through a penalty and you played well. How was the game? Just take us through.
I came in the sharp. Much it today and that means if we game the baby is finally question up so you win in future president today.
Ligola lakho lesifo leli ingaphambanisi kuyinokwenza ukuthi udlale kakuhle kangaka isizini le.
I told myself this season I have to show. I've been there in the Premiership, but I wasn't given any game time. But I haven't born. I had the opportunity there to sharp. But last season I was scoring, so I think I took it from last season.
Siyabona ukuthi lichayi FC Platinum lapha 2-0 so kubuye enye team layo ebingakadliwa ingezi Platinum layo selichayile. Kuchoni kini lokho njengabadlali beBulawayo Chiefs?
Ukuthi maybe silo kudelelo okuncane masihlangana lama team esingana lawo, but ngaso kuya big names sesifayita, so I think that's where it's way lapho. Otherwise we are playing well.
Maybe just in closing ongasitshela khona ngeBulawayo Chiefs la ngawo.
I think i-oneness ikhona sibambene sinjalo siyaluza okunye siyadraw but asilahlane leke sisonke.
Thanks Gracious, good game.
So Gracious Muleya, the boy from Cowdribak, confident that the Chiefs will continue to do well in the Premier Soccer League. We also spoke to Ngezi Platinum Stars coach Tonderai Ndiraya, and this was his reaction to his team's first defeat of the season.
I think it was a very difficult game for us today. So many things which happened, which obviously I'm not happy about as a coach. But all the same, I think we were really not ourselves today. We struggled to find our rhythm, but I also thought that we had some opportunities in the first half to take the lead, but we couldn't do that. I think to North was a penalty decision which went against us. I thought it was a clear impediment when Michael Sharamba was going for goal, but the referee saw otherwise. I also thought the penalty decision which went against us was really unfair. I thought there was no infringement whatsoever. Our player won the ball cleanly, the goalkeeper won the ball cleanly. I thought it was a 50-50 challenge, but he got to the ball first and stopped the ball, but to my surprise, the referee again thought otherwise. And then that second bookable offense for Clive Ocastom. Yeah, look, he was closer to the player, he was talking to the player. He was in a better position to make a decision. I don't know what he said, but I thought it was also too harsh on our part, and that really changed our game plan. And then, of course, the Kolisani Moyo's decision, clearly, Kolisani was not even close to what happened, close to action. But again, to my surprise, he got a red card. So I thought it was a case of mistaken identity from the referee. So once that happened, when the match official makes what I think such big mistakes in in a big game like this, in a big game in the sense that, look, we wanted to maintain our 3-point gap, but if such decisions are made, and then, yeah, of course, you may be human, but you can't make mistakes on 3 occasions. I thought that really changed the whole complexion of the game. 9 men was going to be difficult for us, you know. There's really nothing we could do, but I thought the hosts did well. They did well. They took advantage of the numerical advantage and got a result today. But look, I'm quite disappointed by what really transpired today. But all the same, I'll take positives from this. I'll take some lessons from these situations. You want your players to be strong. You want your players to have character and try and get out of such situations and try and get a result under such very difficult situations, under such very harsh conditions. But really, I thought we also buckled under such pressure and really could not find our rhythm and try and get a result today. We got into scoring positions. Obviously, when you are numerical disadvantage, you are sort of guessing. You know? But I thought in the process of guessing, we got into some good positions. Our players got some not really clear-cut chances, but some opportunities which I thought they could have put away. But look, our Chiefs did well. They defended well. They could have scored a couple of goals on counter breaks. And look, we were just disorganized in the end because of the numerical disadvantage we had. But look, first defeat after 15 games. Of course, putting this game aside, I thought we've had a very good run as a team. 14 games unbeaten was really quite a good run, and I want to commend my boys, the players, for what they did in the past 14 games. It's unfortunate that we lost today, but I think we must just keep our heads high and look forward to the next match, which is against FC Platinum at home. So, but rest assured, we are really going to appeal the red card. I thought it was unwarranted. It was a case of mistaken identity. And I hope authorities will take the issue up and have that red card resigned.
Well, Stanza looking forward to meeting their sister club, FC Platinum, on Saturday. It's going to be a top of the table clash, 1 versus 2 at the Baobao Stadium. FC Platinum themselves ensured that the top 2 teams are tied on points at the top with a comprehensive 4-0 win over Shabani in the Zishawane derby. Raman Kudzanzira scored the first goal of the match. He is the first in FC Platinum colours in the 8th minute. At the same time, in the 8th minute as well, his brother Innocent was scoring for Bulawayo City at Barberfield Stadium. Amazing coincidence then for the new Lobengula boys there. Our man Colin Nigisi watched the derby in Zishawane and sent us this report.
For the greater part of the week, Zishawane was buzzing, and certainly it had to be the 9th edition of the Zishawane Derby, pitting FC Platinum and Shabani Mine. And once again, the Shabani Derby lived up to expectations as both FC Platinum and Shabani Mine went on the prowl for nothing less than 3 points. And prior to kick-off, FC Platinum were 3 points behind sister side FC Platinum, who later logged on to Bulawayo Chiefs, knew for a fact that 3 points was a must for them to stay in contention for the league title. And as expected, SC Platinum coach Norman Mashinwe Majusi Mapeza made one notable change to the team that beat Chicken in last week, as he introduced William Sitima in place of Kelvin Moyo, who was away with the national team in South Africa. On the other side for Shabani, though, 3 points meant something totally different and perhaps more important as they look to move themselves up the table and out of the red relegation zone. And under fire coach Tekshua Chiragui made 2 changes with midfield anchor Eric Kayajula and Denzel Talerera, the most notable changes. According to Chiragui, these 2 changes were in light of the opponent that they were facing in FC Platinum. And then, of course, as expected, FC Platinum will have scored 24% of their goals within the first 20 minutes. They started the match on a high, and of course, after just 8 minutes, they got the all-important opener, courtesy of Raman Kutsanzira, who scored his first goal of the season, latching onto an impressive road which Yengetive through ball and dribbling it past Bigite Mera in Shabani goals. The goal sparked the game into life and saw Shabani looking for an equalizer, and after just 28 minutes, Trevor Chigere had his free kick denied by the woodworker with Petros Marie, a beaten man. But while SC Platinum enjoyed the better of possession and chances, they were wasteful in front of goal, with Raman Kutsanzira the chief culprit, and could have scored his second after 38 minutes, but he chose to shoot wide. Nonetheless, with the interval roaming, SC Platinum increased their tally. Mukokeli Dube showing great composure, heading home a Raman Kutsanzira cross to score his second of the season. And that goal deflated Shabani and the fans as well, because they thought they still had a chance going into the breather if the scores had remained at 1-0. And then in the second half, saw FC Platinum looking to test Shabani with an endless barrage of pressure, and on the resumption of the second half saw SC Platinum looking to test the Shabani Mine defense with an endless barrage of pressure, and they will be rewarded with the third of the game, and once again some sloppy marking at the back, resulting in Farai Digira Madananga blasting home a 48-minute crash mower from inside the box, which happens to his second consecutive goal. And with the 3-goal advantage, FC Platinum started to treat the crowd into an absolute exhibition of passing and attacking football, the way pure Platinum play, cherished the ball. Even Arsene Wenger and Pep Guardiola would have been envy, and it was as if Joga Bonito had been reinvented at Mandava Stadium. But Shabani did not give up as they kept piling on the pressure, and the Deputy Timwanjira was unlucky after 68 minutes, but he shot tamely at Petros Marie in goals. And then FC Platinum would then put the icing on the cake deep into regulation time, Sadiki weaving his way into the box and firing home the 4th goal of the day. So for the first time in 9 outings, FC Platinum had palmed 4 goals past their crosstown rivals Shabani Mai in spectacular fashion. And after the match, you could see hordes of Shabani Mai supporters dejected and caucusing. And what now awaits to be seen is, will Tekshua Chiragui last another day at Shabani Mai? And already there is talk of Tendai Chikuni coming back as the Shabani Mai gaffer, with Shabani Mai having sent an email, should we say a letter, to the authorities at Chapugu requesting his release. They now await the releasement of Tendai Chikuni from the Air Force headquarters, that's Manyame in Harare. Darlington Dondo also remains a strong favorite to succeed Tekshua Chiragui if the deal goes through. But will Tekshua Chiragui survive after this, after losing 4 goals to nil to FC Platinum? The Shabani Mine fans reckon if it was any other team, the better would accept. But this 4-0 defeat, it leaves them with a whole lot to ponder. But Tekshua Chiragui, he believes there's still life after this loss.
The English Premier League in Zishamane, perhaps there, from the way Kodza is describing it, forcing you to maybe make 1 or 2 trips just to go and see what happens at Mandawa Stadium as well as at Maklas Stadium in Zishamane. But a good one there for FC Platinum, winning it comprehensively by 4 goals to nil. So as Raman Kutsanzira was scoring in the 8th minute, his brother Innocent was also scoring in the 8th minute at Barberfields Stadium in Bulawayo. Toto Banda and Ishmael Wading added 2 more goals as the City led 3-0 after 60 minutes. Yada, however, came from behind as the match ended 3-3. Veteran striker Ralph Matema scored a spectacular bicycle kick and provided assists for the other 2 goals. The 35-year-old says he is just playing to leave a mark and had to perform at the stadium where he made his name playing for Highlanders. Here is Ralph Matema speaking to MySports.
Great game. You inspired your team to come from behind 3-0 and draw this one 3-3. How was the match?
Yeah, it was a tough match, especially coming from 3-0 down. It was good. I like the attitude and character of the players in the second half because we fought and then we got a reward. 1 point away from home is good enough.
You were involved in all the 3 goals and also scored a spectacular one. Just take us through what was happening, especially with that great goal.
Well, these things you don't plan them, they just happen. So it happened and it happened well. I'm happy.
And the fact that age, many people say, is not on your side. You continue doing very well. This should be your 4th goal of the season, if I'm right. You keep going.
Yeah, it's my 4th goal. But hey, people will always talk. I might be 35, but age is just a number. If my legs can keep on carrying me on the field of play, I'll always run. Yeah.
And not a huge crowd here at Barberfields Stadium to watch your spectacular performance, but the few fans who were here just cheering you on, and you took some time to come and talk to us here as you had to move around greeting the fans.
Yeah, well, I had to greet a lot of people because this is where I made my name, Barberfields. This is where I scored many goals. So the supporters for Bulawayo City, they actually were supporting us because we showed character in the field of play.
And maybe your closing words about your performance and your performance this season, what the fans can expect from you.
They shouldn't expect a lot from me because, it's almost time up for me. But I'll just keep on pushing hard so that I can leave a mark on the field. Yeah, that's all I can say for now.
Thanks, Ralph. Great game from you.
Thank you.
In the other PSL matches, Triangle thumped Dynamos by 3 goals to 0. There was a hat-trick for Colin Doa. He is now on 4 goals. It was the second hat-trick of the season after Simba Nivi got the first for Caps United. There was also a red card in that match for Ocean Mushure of Dynamos. Caps United lost at home to Mtare City by 2 goals to 1. A red card as well in that match for Prosper Chigumba in the first minute. That's the Caps United goalkeeper, and that contributing perhaps to the defeat there for Makepe Kepe. ZPC Kariba won away from home, beating Chapungu 3-2 at Ascot Stadium. They led 3-0, but Chapungu scoring 2 goals in the last 10 minutes from Edmo Muzaninamo, as well as a penalty in the last minute of the match from Alan Tawarisa. Herentos continued with their fine performance as the newcomers clashed in the PSL that was in the capital, and they managed to beat Nekrit by 1 goal to 0. There was also a good victory on Friday for Black Rhinos when they beat Chicken Inn by 2 goals to 1. So a good one there for Black Rhinos. But a 10-man Highlanders managed to beat Harare City by 2 goals to 1. And Rumbeba, the Highlanders defender, red-carded in that particular match. But good 3 points there for Madinda Ndlovu's boys, who did well away from home. And this left the Harare City coach Mark Harrison disappointed.
That was the most ridiculous game that we have lost this season. We give away 2 ridiculous goals at the back. We're 1-1, we're 10 men, we're in control of the game, and we just go and give another goal away. And then in the final third, our decision making is poor. It was a ridiculous game to lose. Not acceptable. We should never have lost that game. I don't think there is a big problem, to be fair. We just been giving away silly goals in the last 2 games, individual errors, which you cannot legislate for. You do not expect Bright to do what he did for the first goal. You certainly do not expect your captain to do exactly what he did for the second goal. If we don't give away 2 silly goals, we win the game. And it was just individual errors what have cost us the game. And as I said, in the final third, I think our decision making has to be a little bit sharper. We're in a rush to do things when we should really calm it down a little bit and take a bit more care with what we do. But that's okay. We work at it. It's not a problem. I mean, we lost to the team at the top last week, and we probably did deserve to lose the game. But today we didn't deserve to lose the game. We lost it ourselves. We threw it away today ourselves. But hey, we bounce back. Kariba away next week. Another tough game, but we have to deal with it, and we have to go there, and we have to get a win if we can.
So Mark Harrison disappointed with the performance of his team then, and talking of those 5 goals at Ascot Stadium in Gweru. Our man Rizin watched the 5 goals in Gweru and sent us this report.
Good day. It was quite a good crowd here at Ascot Stadium, where Chapungu was taking on ZPC Kariba in the match day number 15 of the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League, with Colin Piri starting in goals for Chapungu FC, and Emmanuel Chitauro, Ricky Bota, Colin Kwaramba, Mchinga Mimoyenda, Edmo Muzane Namo, Tapiwa Kumbuyani, Brighton Mugoni, Allen Tavaruisa, and Bruno Mutigo, with Philip Marufu making the starting 11 for the home team. And for the away team, it was Tendai Hove in goals for ZPC Kariba, Boniface Zuberi, Dexter Piri, Sylvester Apia, Ian Nekati, Tawanda Munyanduri, Colin Mulea, Tsepo Randokane, Pride Tafiri Nyika, Talent Chamboko, and Tawanda Nyamandwe making the starting 11 for the away team. And the first 10 minutes of the game belonged to the home team, where Chapungu failed to get a goal after the beautiful display in the first 10 to 12 minutes. And the first goal of the match came at the 23rd minute, where Pride Tafiri Nyika tapped in after a good exchange of passes in the 18 area. And other goals for ZPC Kariba came from Dexter Piri and also Talent Chamboko. And Chapungu failed to stage a comeback in the last 10 minutes with goals from Edmo Muzanenamo and Allen Tavaruisa after Ian Nekati handled in the box in extra time. So it was 3-2 here at Ascot Stadium. And Rodo Lakama, the Chapungu Gaffer, conceded the defeat. And Godfrey Tamirebi, the ZPC Kariba Gaffer, said his team showed hunger from the start.
You are listening to MySports Show with the Muzi Hadebe. Do visit our website www.mysports.co.zw. Up next, we take a look at the Old Mutual Nkulumane Half Marathon, which took place in Bulawayo on Sunday. And here is Manuel Mpofu, the chairman of the Bulawayo Athletic Sport, giving us a rundown of what transpired in the first half marathon of this race, which previously has been held as a fun run.
Nkulumane Half Marathon was a success with almost 700 plus athletes. Athletes came from as far as Victoria Falls, Mutare, Masvingo, Harare, and also Bulawayo. All the races started exactly on time. The half marathon started exactly at 6:30. The 10 kilometers started exactly at 7:30. The fun run, that is the 5 kilometers, started exactly 7:45. All the athletes enjoyed, and the main race was won by Canisius Nyamutsitsa of Harare. The event was a success, really. We are looking forward to other races which are going to be coming in Bulawayo. We are going to host the Islanders Half Marathon, that is in September, on the 1st of September 2018. Also, we have a race, an inaugural race from these guys, Bulawayo Marathon on the 29th of September. We have also Hope Fountain sometime in November. Then we'll finish up the calendar with the Likwa Habu also Center 2018 edition of the 10-kilometer road race. These are the races which we are looking forward to in Bulawayo, and the Bulawayo community is very supportive. I just want to thank Old Mutual for the continuous support of this race. This race usually was a 10-kilometer, but now we've upgraded this race to a half marathon. I think the near future we're going to have a marathon here in Bulawayo. Thank you to Old Mutual. Thank you so much, guys, from the media guys. Thank you for the support. I thank you.
Lastly, on MySports Show, we take a look at the Southern Region Netball results week 5. Fairbridge beat Golden Girls 42-21. Sparrows beat Amhlope 54-39. Kami remained at the top of the logo, winning 40-0 against NAST Students. Free Stars managed to beat Induna 43-19. Mkoko continued doing very well, accounting for Tail 1 68-8. Lethal Angels went down to Lobengula Queens 37-16. Sobogazi and Rail Stars, it was a close one, with Rail Stars winning by a point 34-33. It finished in favor of Rail Stars. ZRP beat Masie 52-17, and the Blanket Mine managed to account for Mapisa 39-20. So quite interesting results there, and Kami still unbeaten and at the top of the log as they continue doing very well in the Southern Region Netball. That's all that we had on MySports Show here on your home of champions. Just a rundown of the headlines just before we go. The Warriors are through to the semi-finals of the COSAFA Cup in South Africa after they beat Botswana 3-1 on penalties. It was 1-1 in regulation time, and they will face Lesotho in the semis. Ngezi Platinum Stars suffered their first defeat of the season at Bulawayo Chiefs, going down by 1-0, and also had 2 players sent off in that particular time. The first Old Mutual and Kulmani half marathon was on Sunday right here in Bulawayo, and there was lots of excitement there, including the fun run that involved the 5-kilometer as well as the 10-kilometer races. In the netball, Kami remained at the top of the Southern Region Netball logo with a comprehensive 40-0 win over NAST Students there. So they continue doing very well. That is coming. This has been My Sports Show, presented to you by Muzi Hadev. Looking forward to what should be an exciting sporting weekend ahead. You can always visit our website for these and more of the stories that we have them. That is www.mysports.co.zw. You can always follow our very popular Bula Sangoma prediction game, where you stand to win a lot of prizes. So looking forward to a great week and a great sporting weekend ahead. It's bye for now.